Tonight's guest on Set the Trend Live, Tripple Cee, the legendary Rory Stone Love, and Tanqueray Hayward. And now, here come your hosts.
Hey guys,
What's happening?
good evening. Good evening, my fellow presenters. How are you? In fact, before I even say how are you today, in fact, let's say how are you today. Then I'll go to the people, give them a little time to get in and stuff. How are you, Reggie? How's it going? Welcome to Set the Trend podcast. How's it going? Another edition. Good evening, Prue. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. All good, as good as I can be. Looking forward to, some great stuff happening tonight. And still in Europe. My football team's still in Europe, so I'm quite happy actually.
You had to go on a football thing, didn't you? Really? I don't know, and I'm not quite sure why, but nevertheless, Arsenal supporters never let you down.
Hello, Prina. Wagwan. Yeah, all right. Tracy.
Look at that. Mama's even got a little Jamaican twang on today.
Wagwan, Selena Dion. Your heart must go on.
So, EastEnder, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. All is well. Looking forward to today's show. It's gonna be a great one.
What are you looking forward to today? Which part of the show are you looking forward to today, EastEnder?
You know what? From start to finish, I'm want to hear Tripple Cee's story. I think what she's doing is, I like people that move the game forward a bit. Yeah. And, she's doing something that I commend. And I want to hear her story, why she wanted to do it, why she got involved, and where she wants to take it. I'm looking forward to Tanqueray Hayward later on, a voice of an angel.
And you know what? I missed out on the check-in. I was there just doing something else, but I see you lot like the heads were nodding. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She's gonna blow your socks off, mate. She is absolutely amazing singer.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Reggie, who are you looking forward to tonight?
Everybody. Obviously, Rory Stone Love, 100%. Oh my God, I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. And being that it's my birthday on Wednesday, this is like a early birthday present.
Do you know what, lads? I don't know. I don't think that none of you caught on. And I didn't say nothing. And I thought I'd say it now. Because I don't think you've realized. I don't think anybody realized on the team. And it's only because I had to look at some things. And I said, oh, it is 1 year to the day that we first broadcast Set the Trend live in the pandemic.
No,
well observed, Ray. Well observed, my friend.
1 year that
a round of applause.
1 year that we took it. One year that we took this podcast live, and we wasn't sure that we should do it, wasn't we? I remember we had the conversations behind scenes about whether or not that we should take the podcast live or not. I don't know. I don't think it was me that actually pushed it. I think it was more probably you and EastEnder. I think pushed it. Said, let's just do it. Let's go live. You know what I mean? So
Thanks, Alison. Love ya.
Good evening to Roger Bailey. Monday, non-essential shops open. So I will get my haircut on Monday.
And we'll make sure that we're down at your record shop.
And as well, record shop Maestro Records returns on Monday,
4th
of April.
The stock up.
For Roger,
anyway,
I've been loyal.
With a smile. Any discounts?
I haven't had the barber coming in behind closed doors. No, so I've been loyal. That's why my hair's like that, Roger.
Have you finished?
Yeah, I finished.
So it's a year to the day, and it's a very special. Oh, let me just move this mic. Lead. It's a very special show for us today. It's a year anniversary. Special guest, as you said, we have Tanqueray Hayward, who's in the building. US Philly, Queen of Philly, is blowing up, and she's live here today on the show. We also have Tripple Cee, who's doing the Blackout Awards, and we'll be talking to her very shortly about that. And we also have Rory from Soundlove, and we're going to be reliving some stories and memories, some street sounds memories as well as. So we look forward to that. Welcome to our life. You know what I mean? I will say they're our life, because if they weren't here, we wouldn't have any life. We probably wouldn't be doing the podcast. So welcome to everybody who's in the chat rooms, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Set the Trend podcast, where we chronically discuss the street sounds history from way back late 70s till now, and kind of talk about things that you may not be aware that happened and the impact that the street sounds had on the black music scene, on the music scene, as EastEnders says, I should say, in general, in the United Kingdom. So this is what we're about here on the podcast, and this is what we're here talking about today, part of it today. Indeed. So if you're on YouTube, can you subscribe to the page? If you're there, just press subscribe and just subscribe to the page. We want to get our subscribers up. And also, if you're on Facebook, share the link. You know how it goes. Copy and share the link for us one time, please. Thank you very much, so we can get everybody involved. Also, do remember that you are also a part of the show. So when our guests are up, you can also field questions. Give us questions, and we'll put it to the panel as well as the people that we're interviewing. So feel free to be a part of it. Right, so let's get going. Isley Brothers versus Earth, Wind and Fire recap. Me and Reggie were Earth and Wind and Fire. EastEnder was Isley Brothers. What did you reckon, East?
Fantastic show. If we're gonna do it from a killing who won, I'm gonna say Team Isley. You know, I did get your message in the mornings where you said, "Boy, your boys are getting beaten up," and in the beginning they were. You know, the first 3 or 4 songs, yeah, Earth, Wind and Fire took it, but I think slowly but surely, Isley Brothers came back for me. But
Isley
overall,
Brothers? Okay.
Overall,
Mr. Big.
A fantastic night for black music, icons of the 70s and 80s soul. I think it was like a celebration of the music I love, and I'm sure you guys love it too.
Reggie, let's talk about Steve Harvey first.
Oh my God, Jesus! Well, already some people have mentioned that he was very
Ina, as we would say in Jamaica, very Ina.
But you know what? I think it was kind of like that old school chat room style, chat show style that he was trying to deliver. You know, taking it back to the 70s. You know, when they used to have and now, what did you think of that type of thing? But I mean. Yes, it did start to get annoying. I think Colin Williams said as well that he started to get annoying after a bit. And yes, that's right. But, the culture won at the end of the day. And a lot of a new generation have now been introduced to a generation of black music that people probably weren't aware of. They didn't know people wrote certain records. Artists coming out now will know, right, okay, I need to set the bar and write some amazing music as well. So it was good.
Did you think that Ronald Isley, or is it only Ronald Isley, could play R. Kelly and get away with it?
Yeah, of course. Come on, man.
He did
Mr. Big.
He did delete the R. Kelly verses out of the song. He didn't go there.
Yeah, but still, we all know, man. Come on. Come on.
Don't.
That's why you have to say Earth, Wind and Fire definitely won that, man.
No way.
Party.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what? EastEnders is just biased anyway, because he's been to Ronald Isley's house, isn't it? So
he did. And I don't know if he's ever told when he went to Ronald Isley's house and he went to see Mr. Big in his house in America. You've never told. I'm not sure if you've told that story live.
Yeah, I think I told it.
Yeah,
I told it once.
He did once.
I told it once.
Yeah, we don't need to hear it again now.
And we'll hear it another time. Not today.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you get in the front room or did you have to stay in the passage? Yeah.
No, I got in the front room, but he was supposed to put me up for 2 nights. And he told me about going downtown. There's some good hotels downtown. And he says, just just be careful. It's a bit rough down there, but I recommend you a couple of hotels you can stay. But that wasn't the deal. The deal was I was gonna stay at his house for for a couple of nights.
He maybe saw you and said, "Nah, mate, you're a bit dodgy, mate." Did you comb your hair? Did you have your hair cut at the time?
Maybe he didn't put the silverware away. That's what.
Well, the reason why I went there was to like give him some cash, and he was happy to see me. But you know,
you was doing a concert. It was a concert time, wasn't it?
Or he might have thought that you'd wake up in the morning and the cash would be gone with you.
Anyway, let's move on. An icon has died. Earl Simmons, aka Darkman, aka DMX, has passed away. Absolute legend, 50 years. What are your thoughts on that, Reggie?
Sad news, man. So sad news, you know. Last week, obviously, we mentioned and put our prayers out, hoping that he would recover and get better. But sad to see that, you know, DMX is transitioned at such a young age as well. And, you know, I just hope he's at peace. And I hope he's, you know, having some great moments with Aaliyah and all the great rappers and musicians that are currently have passed on right now in heaven. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's really sad.
The Street was released in 1998. His first album, Dark and Hell Is Hot, was his first album, and that debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, followed by his next 3 albums. The only musician in history to ever reach this fate.
Indeed.
Wow. Yeah. You know, and I remember when those albums came out, and you know, as we said, gone to #1. The way those CDs and vinyls flew out of the shops on those release dates.
Yeah,
it was absolutely like it was crazy. It was.
Mate, I remember stuffing them. I had to stuff them in the mailers, the promos. I had to send out the promos. So you know, it's just sad. You know, but you know what? It's an honor to be part of his.
Reggie,
there we go. That's the old Street Team van. That was like circa 2000. And 3, I think it was, but I got involved earlier from about 1998, 99.
And this was Reds, wasn't it? And Reds was part of that as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Big up Reds. That was from Red. Yeah, big up Reds.
Rich, what's your favorite DMX song?
What's my favorite DMX song? Slipping. All day. Slipping.
Right.
I'm falling. I can't get. Such a tune, man. Such a tune. And you know the thing is, I remember I used to open up my set at a night called Text Me with with his Prayer 1. People used to look at me, but as the more and more I did it, the more and more people kind of like understood why I was doing it. So, you know,
he's the first artist to do 2 platinum albums in a year. His film debut, Belly, with Nas, and then he went on to star with Belly.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was the album.
I promoted that one as well. I did the market.
He then went on to star in Romeo Must Die with Aaliyah and numerous other films. But the demons never left him, though, did they? That was the problem.
No. But that's the thing. It's like, you know, once you go through so much, especially the fact that, you know, I don't know if you saw that Roxanne Shante a video where she mentioned where he said that his mum went to go and leave him at a children's home. Do you know what I mean? You know, so it's like, you know, we all have challenges, and sadly, we have to be mindful of how we look after our kids, and sometimes us as a community have to learn to step in and, you know, try and help people who are struggling.
Right, I've got to move on. Cardi B, she's got Billboard Woman of the Year, Reggie, is that right?
Billboard Woman of the Year and the Billboard Awards. It's a prestigious award. She was given the award by Breonna Taylor. For those of you who don't know, Breonna Taylor is the lady who sadly was shot by police when they raided her apartment. Okay. And shot her in her bed. Sadly passed away, and you know, it was tragic what happened. But Cardi B was obviously she's a big campaigner. She does her thing. I know there's been a bit of a backlash because she's putting out a record called WAP, but at the same time, you know, people are saying, how can she get Woman of the Year when she's not that kind of role model? But, you know, big up Cardi B. She is a very, very staunch campaigner, and she works extremely hard to get the message of injustices out there and uses her platform for good.
Cool. Another sad time, Richard Okarogi. He died this week. I just want to mention that because I think we often forget that people are going through a lot of things, even though they might be smiling and everything might seem okay on the outside. there's a lot that's going on, that can be going on the inside. So sometimes, you know, you just got to, I think sometimes we just get complacent that because we're here talking to people like you're okay and everybody's all right. And sometimes you need to maybe make that call, make that, you know, talk a bit deeper and just make sure that that person is okay, because mental health is a wicked thing at the minute. I don't know. I mean, I can't, because we don't know how he died. We don't know in what circumstances. We know it's strange, but you know.
And what I would say is that, you know, yes, our platform, yourself, Reggie, and me, you know, it's music, but you know, if anybody's out there having a hard time and they want someone to speak to, we're free to hear your story, to hear your pain, to have a conversation with you, to try and release some of that pressure that you've got inside of you. So don't just think that we just want to talk about music. You know, if you want to give us a call, feel free to do that. We're here for you.
And especially if you're calling parents, like because obviously we're of a mature age, as they say, and if you got friends who have got kids or teenagers, you know, get on the phone, give them a call, say, hey, how's such and such? Let me speak to him for 5 minutes or her for 5 minutes, and you know, give them a bit of encouragement, give them a couple of words, because sometimes it's difficult for teenagers to reach out to their own parents about their issues, and sometimes having a uncle's ear or an auntie's ear is a lot more. So, you know, I really would encourage a lot of people to try and do that if they can.
And remember to call between the hours of 9 and 5, 0207 635 7229. And all calls will be routed from there. Anyway. So prayers up for Richard. Okay, let's move it on. We were supposed to have a little discussion about the independent music scene at the moment. I don't think we've got time. We will be having a special show at the end of the month about that. About the independent, this neo scene, soul scene, new music scene. What is it? What is the arguments for, against? What's going on in it? What are the benefits for it? We'll be having that discussion.
Behave.
Later on throughout the year. But for now, we have someone who's going to touch a bit on that, I think. She's created an award ceremony really aimed at new soul, neo soul, new music. But the young lady's going to come on and tell us about that. Creator of the Blackout Awards, can we welcome to set the trend, Tripple Cee, please? Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Hey.
Cool. Thank you for accepting our invite to come and talk about your awards. Triple, how did you... Can I call you Triple or C, or can I call you Tripple Cee, or you just want to hold?
You can call me Tripple Cee. My friends call me Trips.
Okay, Trips. Well,
or you can call me C, whichever you like.
So, Trips, how did this awards? How did your involvement in this start? First of all,
my involvement when I started playing new music, there was, I've always been interested in music. I've always liked new music. I've bought music over the years, but hearing the neo and getting into the neo, and I started on Flow Radio in 2017, and because I'm a co-founder, I founded it alongside Adrian, who actually runs Flow Radio. Mm-hmm. And we were sitting, talking, and one day we came up with groundbreaking, but we didn't know what, we knew we wanted to do something, but we didn't know what we wanted to do. And I was looking at somebody else's awards, I won't say which one, but I was looking at somebody else's awards and realised that the people that we play day in, day out weren't really getting a look in. Mm-hmm. So, sorry, go on.
Carry on.
So that's how we started to put the awards together.
Can you name some of those people that you play?
Right. Some of the play. Well, you got one on your guests. you got one on your which will be coming at Tanqueray Hayward will be coming on later on. We've had people like Selena Albright, Irene Renee, Georgie B, Shayla Prosper, Nate Rich.
Okay.
There's been loads over the last, because this is actually our fourth awards.
Our fourth year awards. Okay. All right. So tell us about some of the categories that you've got and some of the nominees within the categories as well. Right.
We have 11 categories, which we've got Best Female Artist, Best Male Artist. We did have a separate category for album and EP, but because the EPs, there wasn't too many coming out at the time, we've decided to put that into one category, because some of the EPs look like albums and some of the albums look like EPs, and you couldn't quite decipher which one was an EP, which one was an album. So we decided to make one category for that. When we first started, the first year we ran, we didn't have a Best UK Artist. The second year we decided to put in the Best UK Artist, because there is a lot of US artists that get played in the UK, and we found that at that particular time there wasn't a lot of UK artists coming along, but as the years has gone by, more and more UK artists are emerging.
Okay, so so you mentioned some of the categories there. So the first one you meant, was that female?
Who got Best Female?
Best Female. Who are some of the nominees in that category?
You got Ida Divine, you got Shayla Prosper, you've got, oh God, I know you're trying to make me, because there's about 10 in that category off the top of my head.
It's cool. You can't. I know there's a lot of categories, so you can't.
There's a lot of categories.
You have. Do you remember the 10 categories that you have? Though I know you mentioned a few. Do you remember the rest of them?
There is. Did I say Best UK Artist? Mm-hmm. We've got. So Best Female, Best Album, Best Male, Best Single. You got me there.
Best radio station.
Best radio station.
My station isn't nominated in there, by the way. Sure.
Isn't?
No.
Did you say isn't nominated?
No. I don't know why people didn't vote to nominate us. London Soul Radio. I think I might have to do it.
Hold on, but did you ask anybody? Did you tell anybody about it?
I think I need to put in a transfer request from the station. Actually, to be fair, I think they were nominated last year.
Okay, just had a good year, Rich.
Yeah, I think I will double check, but they have been nominated at some point throughout the last 3
They're a bit
awards.
like Arsenal, mate. They're a bit like
well
Arsenal.
Well done to all the radio stations anyway that are nominated this year.
Yeah, I've lost my trail now.
So what was the process for? So you put out the 10 categories, and then what's the process? Because I know the like you can't vote for anybody now, can you? But what was that process?
Right. Normally, we would start at the beginning of the year, but because of COVID and there was a lot of things going on privately, we couldn't start it at the beginning of the year. But normally on the 1st of January, we would normally have the nominations. So we'll put the categories out, they can go on the website and they can nominate who they would like to see in that category. We then count up the top 7 or 8, depending on how many we have in a category, and that normally lasts for about 3 weeks, and then they go over to the voting, and the public and the listeners will go again and then vote for who they would like to win within that category or categories.
When and where do you do the final award ceremony where you then roll out who's won?
Well, for the last couple of years, we've actually done it in a venue. The very first awards we did that online. Mm-hmm. The second award, we actually were in Streatham Space Project, which was a new build they did in Streatham. And then last year we was actually in Rich Mix, which is in Shoreditch.
Yeah.
But obviously, because we cannot get in a venue at the present time, we're going back to doing it online again.
Okay. What's your favorite category?
My favorite category. Wasn't expecting that one.
There must be one of them that you kind of, is your favorite. And
I think my favorite category podcast. No, well, there isn't a podcast one.
Is there a podcast? I thought it was online.
There is.
Okay.
No, we added the lockdown experience.
Oh yes, that's it. Yeah, lockdown experience.
The lockdown experience. I think I like the radio stations and the radio presenters because that always creates some, hoo-ha. Put it politely. Every single.
How do you do? Because award ceremonies are always subjective to how many people see it, especially when you're voting, when everything's down to the public voting it. So it's down to the obvious audience that you reach that determines the type of people that either get nominated or win. How do you deal with that particular thing where you have radio presenters and people saying, well, hold on a second, how come this person not nominated? How come this person? How do you do that?
Like what Reggie just did like 5 minutes ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You just brush it off, do a Kanye King and say, well, you didn't pay enough for the table.
I say exactly the same thing I said to you, did you? Look, it's we put the categories out and you have to do a little bit of work yourself. Sometimes people enter we have DJs that appear out of nowhere that I've never even heard of sometimes. Wow. And then I go and look on their social media and that's because they've gone and told their listeners, come nominate me.
Right.
Tripple Cee,
and
where would you like to see your award show in 3 or 4 years' time?
3 or 4 years' time, I think in a much bigger venue. I would like, or I should say, we would like to actually take it to the States as well at some point. We'd like to take it abroad as well. Obviously, it does depend on the situation and how things are going to be. But to be honest with you, I wanted to do it on our 5th anniversary, but that looks like it's not going to happen at the moment. Yeah. So, but that's where I'd like it to go. We do have a lot of US artists and they love it. Elusive, I don't know if you know her. She's actually married to Mr. Groove from One Way.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The minute she knew we were putting on an award, she flew over here last year. They nearly didn't even get back home.
Wow, that is amazing. So you've got the star pull already.
Yeah. And they're lovely. They are really, really nice people. And we've stayed friends ever since.
I always think that awards are something that we should be doing anyway. And it's I always said to my friends, we always have discussions about receiving awards. And I always say to them that I would much more cherish an award that's coming from my peers than some of the awards that are in the mainstream. More, I've cherished those over. So what you're doing by recognizing the independent guys or the unsung heroes, this is just an amazing thing. And, I hope it does become bigger, and I hope you go on to experience a lot of massive success.
Yeah,
thank you.
So,
I mean, I don't do this by myself. I have Adrian. We plan a lot of this. Wayne Anthony, Cookie, and yeah, we've got Wayne, and we've got DJ Cookie and Tucker. I don't know if you know Tucker. Who actually have been hosting it for the last couple of years for us.
Excellent. We'll get our suits ready to back our boy, Mr. Sweet Vibes, the Duke.
So yes, because I am nominated. Thank you for everybody out there that nominated. So it's live. What time? Where can we see it again? One more time. Tripple Cee. Can you tell us?
It'll be on
Yeah.
It'll be on April the 17th, which is next week, Saturday, and it will start at 6:45 on YouTube. All the links will be going out on Monday, but check our website, which is all the W's, .groundbreaking, without the G on the end, .co.uk, for more information, and also our social media. We're on all social media platforms.
We might even get you back in for a quick 10 minutes to tell us about some of the winners next week. So be prepared for that, Triple C. If you're
we might still be on it. You know, I don't know what time it's going to finish.
Yeah, I know award shows, they do go on. Triple C, thank you for coming on. Don't be a stranger. And as Reggie said, we wishing the groundbreaking Blackout Awards as much success as possible, because it is very much needed. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much. All right. Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, bye. So the awards is on next week at 6:45 on YouTube, groundbreaking without the G.co.uk. So if you want to see who's won what and be there at the unveiling.
Have you got your suit ready?
Ready.
Have you prepared your loser's face?
Reggie, behave, boy. Behave. So, that was a very interesting conversation. And leading on from one interesting conversation to, and now, you know, I'm excited about awards, especially when you're in them, you know what I mean? It's good to talk about, but I'm even more excited when you get to talk to somebody who is no carbon copy, as they would say in Jamaica. The blueprint, the original, the numero uno. He's even bigger than the Godfather, that I would say, for certain, you know, for a particular style of music that he brought out, because I don't think it's been, it hasn't been topped since. That style of juggling is what is in now. There's a little bit of different variations of it, but it more or less is what this gentleman brought to the game so many years ago in the 80s.
Yeah.
And if you're a reggae fan, you're going to love this interview. From a street sounds perspective, I'm going to love this because he used to play with the street sounds as well back in the day. So you're going to find out about reggae and rare groove. You know what I mean? And it's with a pleasure that set the trend. Bring to the stage, and he doesn't do much interviews. He doesn't do much at all. So we had to pay some serious money to his to his friend. You know what I mean? Like, to get him here. I don't know if his friends, you know, shared some of that cash with Rory, but we'll find out in a minute. Let's welcome to the podcast the Don Dada, the juggling king, numero uno, number one, the blueprint, Rory Stone Love to Set the Trend podcast.
You're here. In the meantime, inside.
Now, one thing you gotta find about Rory, he's got jokes. He's got jokes. Rory has to kind of like yours frozen. He's not frozen, no? Rory Stone Love in the building.
He's trying to.
When you're ready, you know what I'm saying? Because this is your show today.
That's me more inside. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen.
I see him smiling. Did you see the smirk on his face? So and we have some Jamaican flags up for the Don Gorgon in the building. Rory Stone Love. Hey, sir. Welcome.
Pleasure. Nice. Hang on, I'll make one phone call first.
He's ordering the dub plate for you, Ray.
Listen, I'm running.
Me said some money that split up a while ago. I'm gonna get the money, so.
You have to check the agent, you know, Rory. You know, you have to make a call, yes, to your agent.
He's actually calling.
He's phoning in for true, you know.
Well, my boss. Me say get money. I mean, I get done. Mr. P, he's a bad agent. So, not a nice Englishman.
Oh my gosh.
My days.
I will buy some guy back.
Right, you see?
Rory, how are you doing? How's the pandemic treating you, sir? I know you're in Jamaica.
I was sick the other day, to be quite frank. I don't know if it was COVID or not, but I was really, really sick.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I took the COVID test, it was negative. But my sister in England, she had it. My niece, she had it. So, I mean, like, it's not a nice thing to have.
No, not indeed. Rory, you're talking about your sister. You are English.
Yes, I have a British passport. I have.
There's a difference. Was you born in England or was you born in Jamaica?
I was born in England.
Born in what part?
I was born in St. Thomas Hospital.
So, what part of South London was you actually? Did you actually live?
We're in Brixton first, and then we moved to. No, I'm lying to you. We were in Sutton first. Then we moved to Brixton, and then we moved to Fulton Heath.
Fulton Heath.
Yeah,
On the end, my area.
yeah. See.
How does it feel when like you're described at the for being like arguably Stonelove, the most influential sound system in Jamaican history? How does that feel to you when you're described as such?
I'm the sort of person who I don't collect trophies and awards. Like my kids use them as to hold up the door and stuff like that. I don't really cherish things. I believe in that. If you're a soldier, you don't collect bullets and old guns and stuff like that. I don't believe it. Like collecting stuff, like I'm just believing the next day and the next day in the future. I don't really believe in like collecting stuff. I only collect stuff that I need. What I need, like if I collect an old piece of equipment because it has the circuitry of a sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I'm old, but I don't really believe in collecting like old brief, old T-shirt. It's not me.
You're not a hoarder.
Rory, so when you was in South though, before you went to Jamaica, why did you get shipped out to? Usually, someone gets shipped out to Jamaica like when they're young because they're bad. Was you a bad pick-me? Why you got sent over to at the time?
We're from a family of four. I was a single parent. We were really, really poor. I mean, like if you're like 70s Pitney, probably first generation Pitney of for the Windrush period, like first generation. We talk about poor, like four of us in one bed sleeping. Me, my brother, my sister, my two sisters, like two from one side and two from the next side. We were that poor. We know what we used to eat like rundown cornmeal and sardine and stuff like that. I mean, like if you're like a West Indian parent during that time period, you'd know that you go to anybody's house, they have a cabinet with the same pot, plate and saucer, and the same blue-eyed Jesus upon the wall. It's like it's like that type of setting. We were discussing. We used to run there's a park called Meth Road Park. We used to run the park. We went into a sweetie shop. We'd done that. Going to a toy shop. We'd done that. I mean, we were done.
Bad boy.
We were wicked. Like we were wicked kids. Yeah, we when we talk about rubber place, we're rubber place. So that was us. My mother remarried and decided to go out to Jamaica. I mean, like we grew up, we were basically house party family. Like every all-time Jamaican house party. With a sound called Observer that used to run outside of town. We used to hide that sound all the while. There were like youth clubs. I don't know if it's left today. We used to have like youth clubs and shack of the past through now and then or something like. And then came the Soulhead period. And my brother was into the Soulhead period. Like the Earth, Wind and Fire, Funkadelic, Whispers, stuff like that. And then sister was more into pro-black music, Burning Spear, Big Youth, anything that was real black Jamaican. My sister was into that. So I mean, like, and then basically it was me and my sister who went to Jamaica. The other two stayed back because my big sister was fast and I was the youngest and I wasn't very. They were worried about me. So that's how it ended in Jamaica. It was like 1977 around them time.
Okay, so but that was the start really of the making of Rory Stone Love, though, wasn't it? Really, because you went to Jamaica, you started your own sound in Jamaica, didn't you?
Well, I was in Jamaica. I went to Calabar High School. Leaving Calabar High School, that's the time when it was like the kind of new wave area. That was like music like Yaz, D Train. The Prelude label was big in Jamaica.
Oh wow, yeah. Prelude,
yeah,
huge label.
Yeah, huge label. Then came Streetwise label.
Yeah,
right. Sonic Force, Planet Rock, stuff like that. African Background and stuff like that. Yeah, so we're into that. We're into that at that age. On the reggae side now was Channel One, Taxi label. That's like the first part of when Slimer will start making their own stuff like Baltimore and stuff like that.
yeah.
This is like the early 80s. There was we had left school and we were on the street. There's like three of us. Me, Corey, and a guy named Andrew. We were on the street and weren't very nice on the street either. We weren't very nice in Jamaica either. We did things that wouldn't want to repeat what we did back in those days. So we basically would come out on a weekend, and Jamaica, you'd have a gully, you'd have a house, and then the gully. So you could walk the gully and then go to people's backyard. So in those days now, you used to have like a lot of house parties. So you just like 10 o'clock, we say, listen, and we listen to like the boom, 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 and follow that sound and crash a party. Let's do stuff like that.
Was that made you start your own sound system?
No, I'm getting there. Don't rush me. You got all night. From there now, there was this guy, known Mr. Brown. He had a security company, ex-soldier, and he had a component set. It was like one old-time integrated amplifiers, one little couple house box, and one turntable. And he had that. Used to play this place called Bamba Lounge. Used to play like every Friday and play music. So we're like, go play the song. Me and my friend them say, go play the song. It's like one turntable. Was like, man, they ain't got no two turntables and shit. In those days, in America, you had like we said the cassettes. Everything was run by cassettes. Like if you want to know about cassettes, like cassette run the place. Like you get a cassette from Kiss FM, WBLS. You know, like the real master mixes, like mixed like crazy. Like there was no even though we didn't know how they did it, but there was two turntables. You had a guy named Squeeze from a song named Peacemaker. It was the #1 mixer. Like it was like everybody wanted to be Squeeze. He would like take off his shirt and have his headphone on his side. They'd be like spinning. And we all wanted to be Squeeze. And I was like, we all want to be Squeeze. But even though Squeeze Squeeze never realized how to perfect like breaking down bars.
Yeah.
Bars like 4-bar intro, 8-bar verse or 16-bar verse, and then the chorus. I don't think he understood that. Nor did I at the time. This is like early 80s. So we were playing. It was left high school like 82, about 82. So we're on the street then. So we completed song. It wasn't even a song, but anything with speaker and anything with a speaker, we call it song.
Yeah.
You understand me? The big sounds weren't all that big either. So I have no illusion. From there, the guys like the vibes we were given, and then they used to have like live DJ too, like live DJ. Bandolida, bam, 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 bam. That way you have like the guy down the lane called Calico and Clement Ivy, which be down the lane, Robert Dan, what have you. You understand me? So Red Dragon would uplift the road, you know, like everybody was in the area. Then we got a mixer, a realistic mixer.
Wow.
So, but it wasn't one with a fader. It was one where everything pushed up, and you had a Q switch on each channel. Real old school. And we had one turntable was a belt drive techniques. And you know what belt drive techniques, you can't do shit with that.
You can't do nothing.
Nothing with that.
We didn't know that. We didn't know. Then we got a next one that didn't match that one, and that was a direct drive, but it was a house turntable. And there was this Peacemaker. We used like 1200s. We're like, wow, we couldn't get those 1200s. Plus, he had a 12-inch, the 12-inch records.
Yeah.
The disco mix.
Yeah.
Couldn't get those either. You had to have a foreign link. You know, we were like really poor in Jamaica too. So couldn't get those. So there was a record shop in Halfway Tree called the Aquarius, and for some reason they managed to get the big R&B songs on a bootleg white label. So we had like Thanks to You was a big hit. Situation by Yaz was a big hit in Jamaica. Try It Out. Wait, Beach Boys. IOU. The one for me. Songs like that were big. Were big in were the big songs.
So it's very kind of like up tempo disco funk stuff then.
Right. Just on the ball, like just before breakdancing.
Yeah.
Right. So we had like 10 funk disco songs and everything else is reggae. We couldn't mix for shit. I wouldn't know what to say. You had disco match. So we just get the 12-inch record and cut out the circle and dig in the hole and say, all right, this is our disco match. And then man, the amount of fuck we did back then, trust me. The amount of needles we've been up. Trust me. One time that Scratching just came in, Run MDC, Roxanne and stuff like that. When I first type of that was at the time, it was after Sugar Hill Gang, like the Rum DMC, the kind of our age group rap music, and Scratching songs came in, and we never had like Planet Rock for mix to do all that bullshit with, so we had to use reggae. We used like Brown, Revolution, and Hold On to What You Got, whole lot. So we was doing shit. We was mixing every reggae song. We finally learned how to match the snare.
The pitch.
The
and
drums.
Can you remember?
We weren't mixing pitch instruments like piano or guitar or bass. We're just mixing drum.
Can you remember? Can you remember the first two songs that you matched the beat perfectly? Reggae songs, two reggae songs.
Sugar Minded, Lover's Race. And I think it was Hold On to What You Got, or a Revolution. Never really remember.
Dennis Brown. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. I can hear that.
So we were doing that. We were like, we reached there. Mine was people before us who could mix. And a lot of that sound like Soul Sensation.
I remember them.
Mix wicked. So there are other sounds who could mix wicked. I mean, we were just
wicked.
But they were mixing disco. Nobody was mixing reggae. And there was
when you formed Stonelove, you were actually playing disco and soul music.
We don't reach this yet.
Yeah, he's still on his one.
So the man went to foreign. The owner guy went, I don't know where he went, and he came back with crates of 12-inch records, like disco like crazy, and out of 100%, like 10% was good. It was fuckery. Like, like it must went to a radio station, and then I said that I can take these. We done taking up space, and there were a few good ones in there. So then we got a copy of Let the Music Play, Shannon.
Let the music.
But it was a 45, and the 12-inch had a better dub mix. Because remember, in those days, the dub mix was the best part of the 12-inch, the B side, like visual and stuff. Like the B side, DJ, and the B side was the shit. And when you have the 45, you don't have that dub mix in the back.
Okay.
So we learned. I learned straight away the bars and which part is the best part of the music. So like if you play situations like dum 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 dum, you just use like that one section. So we're breaking down stuff like that. Then I think that selectors have a thing what they call it the gift from God. Like some selectors have it, some don't. Like you can pull up a record and put it which part you want to and it just goes there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a selector, it's like some don't have it. Like you can just pick it up and it go right on the beat, right on the drum roll, right on. It's just like your spirit. It's the record and the spirit is one. It's hard to explain.
No, I know what you're saying because in Supertime, I used to work in Supertime Records, and there was a guy called Jockey Maro who used to do exactly the same thing. Where we pick up the needle, put it in the right place every time he got it on point.
It's a crazy thing. It's like, it's just like a DJ. Like a DJ, you have it or you don't have it. It's gonna happen or it's not gonna happen. Now, mind you, in those days, nothing makes money in music. Singer, DJ, selector, mixer man, nothing to make money. Cause I remember reggae was funded by drugs money. Weed run the reggae. Sound system was usually a rich sound owner. If had a really good sound, like a proper sound. Then they had people like use the Miard sound system, and let's call it a bullshit name, but it's not really a sound system per se. Stonelove now, what we used to come play at the same venue. Yeah, a one garage turntable, single 15, and two double 12 or two same bullshit. Bit better than us, but the same bullshit. And
what was the turning point?
If you give me a chance, I get there. we had a Soundclash. Our song was called Champagne. Wasn't it like the man song was called Champagne, and first song was Weepo, Stonelove. And we had Clementine, Shadow Man, Tipperley. It's early days. Most they were like early Volcano DJs. Volcano was a big sound in Jamaica at them time. We had that. So we had one that clash. Now there was a circuit. Like the Gemini, Grotto Spring. These are sound systems. Gemini, Grotto Spring, Afrique, the original Afrique, as Haggy from Franklin Town. These are like downtown based sound systems. It was a circuit where it was a good circuit to break it. So Weepo goes to Mr. Boy, you really want the thing for reach a place like that to come, join them together we can make this happen. So Mr. Boy, Rude Boy, them thing that for change turn, and like you thing them the garage turntable. That never work. So he used to have a springboard type of sound system, like it was a metal. things that you throw away is what we use to, you know, like you use what you have.
Yeah.
So we had like a metal frame. We had like 2 tube amplifiers. One was a 4KT, a 6KT, and a tube preamp, a little equalizer. So we got 2 turntables. Didn't match. Same thing. Didn't match, and a Gemini mixer. Now, it wasn't a Gemini mixer with a fade control. It was the knob control. That makes it even more difficult.
Yeah, man.
Like, you know, the things that you wanted, like you just can't seem to get there. I couldn't seem to get there. So
Wow.
you'd have the mixer and 1 turntable, then your column, and then the next turntable down there. I said, rude boy, the thing don't work like this. At the rearrange, restructure the thing 2 side by side, mixer in the center. So we're playing, played some good house parties and played some table bar dances downtown.
Table bar dances. Okay, that's is that a go-go club? Is it?
Go.
No, we did go too. I mean,
Yeah, I remember the Strokers videos. You remember the Strokers?
We did go clubs too, and I fair share. Not gonna go and like say it was a group. A Jaguar Lounge and one next to the halfway tree. We played this place called the Pool. It was in one lane. And we played. It was mostly burglars here to go there and sell their stuff to the owner. Then we played we used to play Admiral Plain Lane, what was just outside of Admiral Town. That used to go on nice. That was nice. That was a nice setting. Ira, I don't know if any of you guys know Ira is a famous DJ. He used to come there like every Monday and hang out with us early on and give us the history, because he was a sound fanatic. I mean, Ira from Tubby's days, like,
Yeah,
he's a man that's love sound. Never see a man love sound like Ira. So come there and give us history and what have you. Then we used to play like downtown, and they used to call us the madman sound. And the reason why they said that's because there's only mad people was our audience. Like the regular mad people would just come out and dance to us. Like, nobody else. It's anytime I hear Stonelove, it's pure mad people.
wow.
We used to have a contest, me and Weepo, who could find the most records. Like go in a people's yard and take out them record.
What, you did a mystery?
I got this. It's like, yeah, let me get this, and you know, it's a little contest. I remember me and Weepo used to go to a dance and could only afford 1 beer each. That one red stripe beer would last 4 hours, and it was
the beginning.
4 days. So that was, from there now, my mixing improved. Mixing was improved. Understood. For sound system, you have to understand sound distance, like how far your speaker box from you, and count the seconds delay. Because you're playing sound, you'll be mixing wicked. The next venue, you're behind the beat because the sound reach you late or it bounces against the wall. You need to learn all those things. I mean, in Jamaica, like you play some places like the echo in the building. You know,
This is before monitors. This is before stage monitors.
Yeah. So it's crazy. We played a place called this place on McDonald, that's Kingston 13. That's where Barry Brown, Junior Bowers come from. So more time, Junior Bowers used to come link us, Barry Brown would come link us too. So I mean, like growing up, I know it means all your heroes that used to my sister used to love, and you get to meet them. Like it's really amazing.
So at this point, you would joined up with Stonelove. So at this point, you was with Stonelove, and you was just started the first steps of the career building in Jamaica.
You don't understand. Sound system wasn't a career back then. It wasn't a career.
So it was just a hobby then. It was a hobby.
You just play music.
So So in terms of when you started, did you want to be an entertainment sound, or did you want to get into the clashes that was?
I didn't even know what I wanted to be. I mean, at that time it was like just do it to see how long it lasts. I mean, you never dreamt it could pay a light bill one day. Never had an idea.
Wow.
Never had the idea that you would be. I mean, if you look at some of the sounds that you just mentioned, you've topped them all in Jamaica. If anybody talks about
the sound systems of that time, the so-called rebel sounds were mostly run by. It was mostly big money behind them. The only only few sounds were really like hardcore hard work were like Jaro, Gemini, Scorpio. They were like real hard working sounds, but some other sounds had a different income behind them. I won't mention the income, but had a different income behind. But you had a very, very few people who would put their 9 to 5 money behind it.
So when you conquered Jamaica,
nobody reached us yet, King.
yeah, but
I'm in the interview now. You're lucky I get that one. Come in, I don't know.
Wait for a long one. Wait for a long one.
We reach a place now where on Kingston 13 Park. We already the Stonelove never belonged nowhere, you know. Like a song with a control, say jungle, or a song that control Almond Town, a song with a control. Even like England, there's songs from South London, songs from East London, songs from the area. You know, we had never belonged nowhere. You know, we didn't belong anywhere. So we got a following from Jonestown, jungle area, Almond Town. We started to get love around that side. Then we ventured into Kingston 13 area and got love around that side too. So there was a sound now called Aries. Like the guy who owned it had money, and for him some of the latest shit, like the latest equipment, echoes and all that shit. And Cancer used to play that sound too. Cancer, I think his name was Daryl and when they were playing that sound, and Jacko. And then we had a Soundclash in that place, in that same McDonald Lane. And those days, you only had like 10 hit songs. You had like 10 hit songs, and the rest was bullshit. And ask any DJ. Those days, you had like 10 hit songs, and then the rest you have to fill in and know how to master. You have to learn how to master the clock. I just call it like master the clock. You realize what time a dance is gonna done, and how you're gonna play your music, how you're gonna conquer the time. So the Soundclash is 2 sounds now. You have 10 songs. 10 songs are gonna carry the swing. A lucky tune on their shirt. Our lucky tune was Ring the Alarm Tennessee. We got a pre copy from Tennessee, and that was our tune in the bag. And then you have like say 15, 20 songs that will make the dance. So people go to me, man, we're gonna play all these songs before the next song. I go, all right. So that's where Juggling first came from. First bar mixed on the chorus. First bar mixed on the chorus. And that's how it go. But it just sounded like it was one song. It was that's amazing.
Yeah, continuous.
So that juggling thing, you coined the phrase for that. Is that correct?
Well, at the time, Admiral Bailey now had a song called DJ Juggling, and then people said, "Boy, Rory, the juggling man, and the juggling sound," and it just came on to me. Yeah, and then we had a documentary called "The Stone of Juggling," and from this, it just came on us like that. So from there now, the dub plate business came into fashion. I mean, the first dub plates, like customized dub plates, were like a thing with Barry G and Rodigan, the Soundclashes. And I intro Rodigan and Barry G, like little Mikey Dread, little intros them and what have you. I mean, that's where it started from. So then from there now, a song called Classic used to run downtown. If them enter them can't go wrong. Had a vibe though, and a really wicked had a vibe. Had a wicked vibe.
Okay, so Rory, we got a lot to get through with you, and we got some surprises for you too, and we don't want them to go in it. Yeah, we have some surprises for you. Don't think you're coming in, we ain't got surprises for you. We have some surprises for you. So this is why we just need to push it on just a little bit. Yeah. So,
which one?
So once you conquered JA, you've come to England now. Yeah. And if you can bring up, I don't know what Anthony Brightley's in the background laughing. I see he's kinning his teeth. Can you bring in your UK promoter at this time, please?
Okay. Anthony Brightley,
come in, Anthony Brightley.
Tropics. Anthony was. We know who Anthony was. Never heard of Anthony. No Sir George. No Black Slate. None of that.
Yeah,
this man now. Trick me, said him sexy woman. and it was sexy burning and send forward to come full lion, you know.
Is that true? Is that true, Anthony? Is that how it went?
Well, they wouldn't talk to me. So,
like, that shit could make patty.
So, Mr. Brightley, Stonelove was then the biggest sound in Jamaica and probably in States as well. States definitely was going in with Stonelove. You wanted to bring them, or they wanted to conquer the UK, and you were seen to be the go-to man.
We never followed the UK.
You did. So this is Mr. Brightley thinking about. So Anthony, what made you think that Stonelove could make it big in the UK that you wanted to bring them over here?
They played like how I wanted to play. So basically, I was at a hotel called the Courtly, and a man said to me, "Oh, I tell him I want God," and he sent me to some club called Illusions where I freeze to death. And I said, "No, man, I want to hear music like what's playing around the back." Then he said, "No, man, you can't go around there." So I went around there on my own, and it was Stonelove playing. And they kept me all night, couldn't move. Tried to talk to them, they wouldn't have it. So I sent my little friend to go and say hello to Rory. And
Little Browning friend.
Little Browning.
Browning.
And it worked. And it worked.
So when I stayed at the Pegasus Hotel, and she told them, "We're going to take you to England, and we're going to make you the biggest sound in the world." And then Rory and Weepo came to the Pegasus Hotel where I was staying, just for that day to meet them, and said to them, "Look, I think I can make you the biggest sound in the world." So Weepo said, "If you think you can do that, go on and no. The rest is history."
So the first time that you was thinking of bringing them to England, I mean, you've got to find somewhere for them to play. You've got to find gigs. You've got to find a venue. How hard was that at the time?
Well, there was a man called Japar, who was the #1 promoter at the time. And Japar said, "Yeah, man, I can get you everywhere." So he got me Leeds, and somewhere else. And he said, "I'll help you promote it." So he took all my money. I said he was promoting it.
Yeah, remember now, this first tour is a disaster.
It was bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. Everything went wrong. I wanted to impress them so much. I turned up at the airport with a Rolls Royce to pick them up. They didn't even get past the barrier. Only Rory came out. Immigration.
Wow.
So you had Rory to. So then it was just Rory that you had.
Well, remember,
the British passport.
you have to remember that nothing's visual. Everything is on a cassette. The people have the illusion. There's a bag of people on the sound, and I was doing all the different voices and what have you, all the comedy bullshit on the microphones. Everybody thought like there must be a bag of people. What was it? Uppercut,
yeah.
Uppercut. And I'm looking up for Clement Ari had the biggest tune. The Coke tune had the biggest. Not touch it thing. Yeah. So when he paid, I think £20 he charge. What did he charge again? I actually charge, but when we're spending your money on this, it's just me alone and don't see nobody else. That's like a disappointment straight away. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a situation you don't want to be in. Like,
so Uppercut Club can hold maybe 2,000 people, and there was maybe about 50 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then what's the strategy from then, Mr. Brightly? Because you obviously got to think about, how am I going to make this work?
What Blue-Eyed Jesus?
You know, I had a girlfriend and she said to me, you know, we just love his voice. I said, what do you mean you love his voice? She said, we just like to hear him talk. So I said, Rory, we're going to make an LP. Put your voice on it. And we made an LP. Rory spoke
on a cassette.
Yeah. We made it on a cassette. Mastered it from a cassette. Yeah. And then with that album, we started to work the blues dances. We just played it everywhere we could get to play.
What do you mean blues dances? How do you mean blues dances, Mr. Brightly? What kind of blues dances?
Well, we went in this capture house, like we went into this little house in Leighton. I don't know, there might have been 50 people in there, but Rory just did his thing and it worked. And then we went to the warehouse where I said, Loosh, we have to try this thing because nothing's working, but I need to play with some of these sounds and show them, say, we have this thing.
And what sound at the time, or sounds at the time, was in Warehouse with Stonelove?
It was Touch of Class, right? Touch of Class, right? And
Touch of Class?
No, it was
Benji and Byrie, right?
No, they would have been on Touch of Class at that time.
But they were there, innit?
Yeah.
There was somebody else too. There was
Mystery. Did you say Mystery was in there?
No, Mystery went there. We had Mystery in the magazines.
Yes.
Who was a bastard back then?
You know what? The experience during that time, it was just really hard because
it was like started all over again. You had to introduce juggling to people. Come back, you guys would be like, you guys would like DJ a popular song and play the tune, and you guys were like playing one turntable. It's like that's where we got our rock groove done. It's like you'd be like body fusion and you'd be down, stand upon my body head, and I do some bullshit before the tune starts. And then it's like, and we're trying to bring in juggling to you guys, like continuous music, and it's like climbing a steep mountain.
Okay, but Rory, you learned. I mean, because those were them tunes that were playing was the classic rare groove.
Our rare groove in Jamaica was like "Love Me," even Element,
Guilty, Barbra Streisand,
and there you go, stuff like that. I mean, like
Richard Marx.
We were playing because when we're playing the rare groove parties, we're playing like our Jamaican rare groove. But it wasn't your rare groove at the time.
It was it was for us. Yeah.
After we left, now you guys start playing that shit. It was like the second time we came over, it was like, oh, you're playing Love Me now and stuff like that, and you know I Be Loved and all those songs and what have you. You guys were playing Body Fusion Midnight Lovers and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
So hold it there, Rory. So we're going back to 1987.
yeah, 87. Yeah.
Around those days, yeah.
No.
So
Yeah, go
Was
on.
it
yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
I think it would have been
86?
80s. Yeah.
89 because Stonelove played at the last dance. I kept one before I finished with
Okay,
Mackin.
so 89. So let's go back 31 years and bring in a guest from that time, Rory, and let's see what he's got to say about your juggling skills at the time. Since you didn't seem to like our rare groove, all that. So can we bring in one of our own immortal blues dance sound that goes back in history as one of the greatest? He had their mic man, Tony Nichols is still touted as one of the greatest ever, alongside Val Pacino and Slim Champagne. Tim in the building.
Class in the building. Class in the building.
Touch of class.
Hello, gentlemen.
So Tim, so
You play with touch of class and Tim would give it to you. Where Jamaica reason this reason you're disgusting.
So Tim, so Tim, what did you think about Rory's juggling at the time? Because you were the Rare Groove Masters at the time. There, you was really hot in town. Warehouse, the Blues, all over London. You was playing. You're playing with One Love. You was playing with all the big like reggae sounds you had played with. What did you think of Stonelove at the time?
Well, you know what? When they first come and I heard, yeah, they're gonna play, I said, you know what, just let them play. When Rory played, I said, you know what? Respect. You know what I mean? Every way he came. Pure specials. And I thought, geez, what's going on here? Right? Because I was gonna start playing reggae. And I said, you know what? I ain't doing that. I ain't following him. You know what I mean? So we just went the soul way. Do you know what I mean? And because like the juggling, we weren't into no juggling. We just play a tune, make people know who that is.
Champagne.
We had all the champagne and all the girls.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Like all the pretty girls.
Rory.
And I remember you used to run us and say the one suit man then. Because every time we played out, we always suits.
Rory, can I just ask you to turn your microphone down a little bit? It's a little bit distorted.
My bad, man.
You got that. You got that.
And I remember Rory chatting to some girl, and he said, "Yeah, I want you take me to the Houses of Parliament." And I said, "He's from London." Don't make you fool you. Oh, God.
No, I mean, like,
It's good to see you.
When we look at the name Touch of Class, that was the first sound system that lived to their name. That was like we were Heineken drinkers, and then we end up being champagne drinkers. Just because it was like non-stop champagne, non-stop.
Yeah.
Rory, what did you think of it? Because you asked me about him when I spoke to you like before.
Yeah. I mean,
what do you think of Tony Nix?
I mean, like, I stole some things from those guys. We would talk on the intro, and then I started to rhyme my intros to like what they were doing. Like I basically modified what they were doing. I think that was probably you play some parties that weren't famous parties, but the most enjoyable parties that you played at, those were the ones. Anytime you touch a class, it was, my sister used to come and laugh at me, say, they're taking the piss out of you. I mean, those were the parties. I mean, like, their style of playing was unique. the timing, the MC timing was off sometimes. They're probably drunk at the time. They were drunk, but everybody was having fun. It was an enjoyable experience. Like if you were in the party, it was just enjoyable. It was what a party's supposed to be, enjoyment.
Yeah, magic.
Definitely.
Did you think at the time, Tim, that Stonelove would go on to be such a probably the best well-known sound system in the whole wide world at that time?
Yeah, I definitely knew that because when Anthony brought them, I know Anthony. He knows the best people. Do you know what I mean? He knows the best sounds, and he knows who to link with who. You know, because I remember when Anthony linked me with GQ, and I never met them before. Do you know what I mean? But Stonelove always going to be the superstars. They're the original superstar DJs, especially Rory. Do you know what I mean? Especially. Do you know what I mean? Always remember. I ain't played with you for 30 odd years, and I can remember. You know what I mean? And there's sounds that I play with, and I forget them the next day.
They used to wear silk suits. You remember?
Silk suits, yeah.
Yeah, they used to wear silk suits.
Rory.
Anybody playing in a silk suit?
Mm-hmm. Rory, what was your best rare groove music? What was your best songs that you?
I liked there was this album Mystery gave me. I don't know.
Daylight 7.
He probably took it out of my box and give it to you.
Probably steal it from you. I've looked on the song. One time I loved that. I've look up there for it somewhere. I liked Midnight Lovers. I just love that voice.
Mm-hmm. Passion.
Yeah, Passion. That's correct. Passion. Mm-hmm. I didn't like Shake It Up. I couldn't stand that song.
Big tune.
Couldn't stand that one. I like Body Fusion, but after a while, it's got on your nerves. You know, like
okay.
It's got on your nerves. But I liked. What I really loved was the British revival part of the party. I mean, they used to also play like a revival. The Louisa Mark and the those other sisters.
Yeah, Lovers Rock. Like Janet Kay.
No, I don't. I don't
really
really like Lovers Rock. That's not for me. You know what I mean? There's too much baby fathers and baby mothers on them tune there.
Right, move on from there. All right.
Having that one.
It's all right. All the children came from it, so it's all right.
I said wearing silk suits. Those guys were trash, man. We're talking about touch of class. Shit.
That was it. That was the 80s.
They lived the name. They lived their name.
So, Anthony, you had a handle in both of these sounds, really. When they called you a king matchmaker, they're probably right, aren't they?
Well, you know what it is? For me, it was just when I realized I wasn't going to be able to be that DJ, I had to find someone to be that DJ. And I instead of selecting records, I started to select DJs. And I would find people who could do things that I would have aspired to do. And as you know, you talk about touch of class. When you know, I mean, me and Tony used to fight all the time, but once he did what he did, it was, you know what I mean? It was like, all right, Anthony. But, you know what I mean?
He didn't like Clement. He's come out of chimes and goes, all he wears are sweatsuits.
So, again, one second.
Ari was part of that scene at the time, and Rory produced a record with myself and Clever Ari because we had to make Rory was with us for about 4 months, and we did so much things in that 4 months to leave a legacy of Stonelove before he went back home. And with that, with all the street sounds, they would have experience playing with Rory. Clement Harry had 2 hit records at the same time. And when Stonelove went back to Jamaica after that, with an album under their arm, they're now the only sound now what's got their own LP.
That was the first Juggling. That was the first Juggling album too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that became them. You know, I mean, at first, when I first put the album out, it was just a picture of the title Stonelove. The record never fell. But I had a picture of young Rory at the back with him standing up in a suit in front of the sound system. And I put that on the front. And if you were the sound system, you wanted to look at the sound, the way the sound was. And if obviously if you was a girl, you wanted the picture of it. And then the LP just took off and the rest is history.
Wicked.
Talking
So
about
they became an
LP,
artist now, as opposed to just a sound system. They became an artist in their own right.
sorry, talking about LPs, Mystery has said the album he gave Rory was a compilation album that him and Tony P put together.
The bootleg.
Yeah.
I'm sure
that album was called Wicked Grooves, if I remember correctly.
No, it weren't. It was. Oh, it could have been, but it was the one that had Straight to the Fat Boy's Neck on it, which Tony P took or nicked out of Stan's box and then went and bootlegged it, and Mystery was part of it.
It wasn't a bootleg. It was the real deal.
Mystery?
For you, it was.
Yeah,
I like that one, right.
Anthony Brightly slipped in. We got to move on. Thanks for coming onto the show, yeah, but we've got the show to get through. Tim,
Nice one, Tim.
we hope that we'll see you because we want to hear your story soon, mate.
Yeah, big up, Tim.
Yeah, we want you back, mate. Yeah, so at some point, please do.
You know, yeah, Rory.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Bless up,
And,
man.
and Mr. Brightly,
Yeah.
Kingmaker, thank you, sir. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, man.
My days.
Again,
Rory.
Rory, I'm going to ask you. Your microphone sounding a little bit distorted. They're saying in the chat that it's sounding a bit too loud and distorted. If you can tweak it a little bit, be much appreciated.
How's that?
Yeah,
That's good.
yes.
Sound better. Yeah, it keeps peaking on that. Rory, we ain't even got time to stop with the guests. We've got another guest for you still. We're just going to go in because we've been just having some fun here talking about you.
This will be a TV show. This is your life.
This is your life.
Yeah,
so
this is your life.
This is your life, Rory. So what you don't realize is that the style of you do realize the style of juggling that you brought influenced many sounds in England. And at that time, when a few years on, or maybe a year or so on from that, two of the English sounds that you influenced was Asher World, Girl movements with Chris Goldfinger, and Nasty Love. Now, yeah, from Brit, yes, Nasty Love from Brit. In fact, can we bring Gaffer Blue to the stage now? You know what I mean? Gaffer Blue.
Hey, good evening.
General.
Always sound the great Rory in the house. And the Set the Trend family greetings. I've listened to some serious stories, Ray. Some stories today, mate.
Wow.
Yo, Gaffer, what made you pattern a bit of style from what Stonelove were doing, or Rory was, or what Rory had brought to the table?
Well, you see, Stonelove now. We was getting the cassettes from Jamaica, and listening to the tunes and the type of specials and the way that Rory was coming over to the world, and you know, Stonelove come at a time when the live DJs kind of faded out a little bit, so we could kind of identify with it, and hearing a Shabba special, not on the microphone DJing, or a Ninja Man special, or Triller You singing My Love, all the big tunes, it kind of touched us, Ray. And we said we want to be part of that type of movement in the UK. Very
was it the way?
So
that was the way that he was putting them songs together.
He's putting them songs together, and you know, getting a cassette, and you know, there was no live DJs on the sound. So, you know, you may get a Stonelove cassette, you may get a Heatwave cassette, you may get Inner City cassette, and it was just total juggling, Ray, and it had a temper to it. Really, it all the way up here. It all the way up here. I'm telling you. So big up to Rory, game changer up here, game changer, total game changer.
Rory, how did it feel? I mean, you were born in London, you've gone to Jamaica, you've influenced, you've changed the game, and you know, and you've come back and you've heard about these sounds in London that are patterning your style. How did you feel at the time?
As I said, I'm not the sort of person who, I mean, there was a time in Jamaica when everybody sounded like me. I mean,
yes.
Even my own sound again, and Chico was copying me, sounded like me, so I didn't have to go to the dance no more. I mean, it was like that. I mean, like, in England, when you go to England and we say that sounds who you said were copying me, I still found them unique in a own right. Like, if we went to any sound system dance, I mean, we used to go to Brixton and hear Homeboy play, and they play a lot of soul music too, a lot of bump and grind. So they had their own flavor too. You know what I mean? Like, I think that every sound, Asher World had their own style. You could dive into like Goldfinger has his own style. You know what I mean? Like, everyone had their own style in their own right. I mean, we're always on the same platform, the same equation, but I think that it's mutated so much that, to me, I wasn't really thinking like, oh, they sound like me. They didn't sound like me at all. I think they all had their own sound. My point of view.
You mentioned Brixton. You mentioned dances in Brixton. There was an iconic dance in Brixton Town Hall.
Yeah.
Yes. All the loves. One Love.
Yes.
Nasty Love.
I remember that. Stonelove. I remember that.
Stonelove.
Yeah.
Hey, the dance the rum in the East Ender. That dance the rum, you know.
I think that Nasty Love was probably the best sound name ever. Like, Nasty Love was probably the greatest one of the greatest sound name ever.
And you see that. Go on, sorry, Stender.
You go.
You see that dance the East End is we never knew Stonelove to really clash or have any kind of war any sound. And you see at the end of the evening, yeah man, going 1 for 1 with Stonelove, with Stonelove on One Love, you know, was an evening, you know. Absolute pleasure. And when you got it, and in that session, when you hear Shabba and Johnny Osborne, the Budgie them away one day, you know, the Stonelove, when Stonelove signed on with Good Morning, Nitty Gritty, you know, say you have to straighten up and start selecting.
So Rory, can you remember how Nasty Love played on that night?
No, I can't. I really can't.
There you go. I can remember.
I'm in my 50s now.
Long time ago. And we also played in Pegasus as well. So yeah, man, some great evenings.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
But yeah, man, the great Rory, game changer.
It's funny that anytime I fly into England, I have to go through Brixton, come at Brixton train station and take a bus and go to my sister's house. So I just love Brixton. It's not like it used to be, but
no.
Yeah, you love Brixton.
Good memory.
Changed. It's changed big time.
Gaffer, did you think that style of juggling that came in would have lasted so long?
No, I didn't think, you know, there's always a change, but Ray, it's here to stay. I know we have to big up the pioneers like, you know, Rory and even down to ourselves, Nasty Love and Asher, who brought that to the world, and it stayed. It's here forever. Whether you're juggling house music or soul or grime, you know, that style of selecting and playing music is here and will be not going anywhere for a very, very long time, Ray. It's here.
Gaffer, you know, you're one of the historians of reggae music. Sadly, we lost another reggae icon last night.
Oh,
Junior
Trinity.
Brahma, aka Trinity.
Yeah.
Another one gone. What do you have to say?
Condolences to the family. And, you know, Trinity's a man who made some serious music, very talented and could sing as well as Junior Brahma, Wade Brahma. And, you know, every disco, if he was collecting music those days, you know, if it was Channel 1, Joe Gibbs or Yabby U, Trinity, or even down to Gussie Clark, you know, you'll hear Trinity on the version, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah. Great. Rest in peace. Done it doing work. Rory, I'm telling you, that man, they're great, man.
Yeah.
Great Trinity.
And Rory, do you have any memories of Trinity?
I voiced him one time back in the day. We did over what's the song again? Weird voice. They linked over. What's the song again? I look at my computer if I can find it. When I voiced him, and I asked him to sing the song and DJ the song. The two things he had done back in, it was like two different names he used, and it was I don't play that. I must have only played one time.
Wow.
But very, very nice person, good brethren of mine still.
Okay, all right, Pete.
And the brother of Clint Eastwood as well. So yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Gaffer, thanks for coming on. Short and sweet.
Enough respect.
Rory,
Rory, the great Rory, salute you, sir. Good work. All right, enough respect to the Secretary family. Big up.
Thank you, Gaff. Nice one.
Rory, this is I'll tell you, I'm very much enjoying this evening. Do you know, that well, I think I had a conversation with you. Your style is on the street sounds now. So I got taught by Gaffer and Asher World taught me the juggling, because that's where I saw them juggling and that's where I took it off. You're right to say in the dances at the time that we were having on the street sounds, we didn't there weren't no jugglers. There was no juggling at all. There was no real reggae music played to that kind of pattern, because that's not what was the style. It was more the rare groove and the soul. So it's funny because you don't know how much cussing that you got me, because when I brought that style, I brought that style to the street sound circuit, and they used to cuss me all the way. Why are you playing so much reggae music? Why are you playing it like that and everything else? So you actually don't know how much influence that you've had, even on our circuit today. All the sounds that now play like that directly, like you can see the lineage straight back, and we've patterned it right back to yourself. In terms of how you've affected so many DJs, not only just street sounds, but in the world, whether they're from Europe, whether they're from Asia, whether they're from Africa. How does it feel? I think Daddy Ernie's put in a quote there that I saw the quote, and it was
a game changer. He's the creator.
Yeah, he's the creator. I will put him. I don't know where he's gone. I don't know who put you there. So Rory, how does it feel to be a creator of a style that's influenced the whole? I mean, did you envisage doing that? Could you have envisioned that as a little boy, growing up in England, moving to Jamaica, starting playing sounds that your style would, it's like an artist making an iconic song, and that song is just sung for years and years and decades.
The only unique thing about it is that it's nice to know that first generation, second generation Windrush left England, went to Jamaica, changed Jamaica, come back, change England. I mean, that's what I love about it still. I've grown. I was raised in house party from my mother, my brother, my sister. The first parties that my mother kept was like boogie woogie parties, like Cold Sam from South London playing like Louis Jordan music and stuff like that. I mean, like the first record I scratched was Brooke Benton. I got beaten for it. I hate that song.
You never scratch it like that. You scratch it a different way.
I was like 4. I went like, wait. Uncle beat me. Uncle Bonnie beat me. Never forget that. Beat me. My mother made me let him beat me. Never forget. It was endlessly.
Rory,
the reason why I like endlessly today is because Randy Crawford sang it over, and I like the Randy Crawford version. That's the only reason why I like that song now. I mean,
Rory,
yeah.
What do you think of the current juggling of reggae music now, which seems to be the fastest person who can juggle a music in 15 or 30 seconds. I mean, they've kind of bastardized your.
You see what you started?
I mean, like, things evolve. I mean, technology. I mean, like, from vinyl to CD to computer. I mean, the thing changes. What I would say is that I didn't know there were certain things in Serato that they're using now. I mean, like, I hardly play, mostly recorded music. I only play on special occasions. And when I go to a dance, like, people who I know couldn't mix are mixing wicked. Like, Lord, club doesn't get rusty. They're mixing perfectly. Like, damn, I need to practice, but I ain't got time to practice. Because I play 7 days a week. The more you play, the more you're perfected. I mean, I just play once the Blue Moon. And then I realized that there are settings in Serato that basically mix the beat for you.
Yeah, sync. They call it the sync button.
Yeah, I didn't know about that shit. I mean, I'm mixing like old school. You know, it might be a bit off, it might be a bit behind the road. You know, you're like, you're vapors, and you're like, I'd be like, how are they mixing so perfect? And it's like, even though it sounds good, there's no character to it. It's not that character of the beats are slightly behind, or you can even tunnel. You know, when two songs are that close, it gives a kind of reverb sound, that tunnel. You don't hear that shit. It's just like everything's just perfect, the beat, the key, and what have you. And be like, damn. But no, like, so I think that it's like if you're good on computers, anybody can do it now. I mean, like, the settings alone. I mean,
So Rory, who's your favorite? Who is your favorite nowadays juggling selector? Who's the person that you look and say, you know what, I love the way that them play? They're a junior, you know, like they're a junior version of me, maybe.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
No.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't do road. I don't do road. I don't do road. There's not really anybody that I've heard that excites me, like, say, yeah, that jumping. I mean, it's unfair to me to call a name when I'm not really going out. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a cunt and go and say, boy, that person.
So you pioneered the juggling. You've also been a producer of music and made some amazing stuff over the years. What and how did you find your inspiration to get into producing music as Rory Stone Love?
You remember, you guys are selectors, and you guys know that back in the day, you'd start the early juggling, and then build up to the boom juggling. And there were songs that you had before the early juggling. You had certain songs that were like the Frankie Pauls, the Leroy Gibbons, and what have you, the Mikey Spice and the Richard Spice and what those the early juggling, the vocal songs. And when everything went CD and then online, a lot of big producers stopped producing, like Jammy stopped producing, everybody stopped producing, and that wasn't there no more. So I thought, damn. So I thought, let me see if we can start mix some of those sort of tunes that a DJ can play in the early juggling. But at the same time, there's no more early juggling, because if 5 DJs on the, remember, it's like 10 or 20 DJs playing on the count. They'll play like old school, and then from there the guy will come and play the top 20. The next guy will play the same top 20 again. And I guess it's the same thing over and over. I mean, I played the old school dance, and I might have played Revolution, and the next DJ comes on, and 4 tunes down the line, he's playing Revolution too. So I mean, like, no. It's like that now. I mean, like in our time, if a man plays Revolution, you're gonna find something. You're gonna be digging.
Yeah.
But I mean, the game's changed. I mean, there's no sound system honor anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Like if you play a tune, it's off balance for me. I've got to find something different to play. So the whole game's changed. There's no. I might always say, well, I ain't gonna be a dead stock. I mean, like you go to a dance night, goes why it's 80s, 90s. That was the promoter. How many people are playing? 10 people. So I go, look, they don't make more. There's no more new 80s and 90s music. There's only a certain amount. It can't work. There's no way it can work. There's only like 10 hits tune per year. And we're juggling, so it's not gonna play the 2.5 or 3 minute. There's no the math, the arithmetic won't work. And then you're playing to the theme of the dance. So it's the 90s, and then they got 2000 upon you. And you look stupid because like, oh, they're playing wickeder songs than you now, but you're playing the theme. So it's really hard.
Rory, we got to leave it there. What we want to do, we want to invite you back for a sound system special at some point, because there's a whole heap of your history that we haven't managed to touch on that we want to talk about. So hopefully, we can extend this invitation to come on again. But your story that you've just said is just so powerful, and I think the line that you left us with, second generation Windrush, went to Jamaica, changed Jamaica, came back to England, changed England. I think that line is another history-making line, because I think that kind of says it all. Rory Stone Love, it's been a pleasure having you on set the trend today.
Thank you.
You owe me some champagne.
Yeah,
5-star. Yeah. And I've got silk suit for you.
Nice one.
Rory Stone Love, Anna, respect. Done.
Yeah.
Done. And we didn't even get into a fraction of his story. You do realize that, don't you?
Oh, there's so much more we wanted to get in there. But yeah, definitely.
To play music in America, we didn't talk about playing music in Japan, in all those different places that he went to.
I wanted to touch on the the Celine Dion, the Shania Twain, the Air Supply, the pop music that they play at the beginning of the dance of his juggling.
Yeah, man.
There's so much, but part
so
two,
inspirational, so inspirational. Rory Don Dada Stone Love.
Right.
Trendsetter, definitely.
No, he created.
He created.
He's the creator. He didn't set any trend. He is the creator.
He created the juggling.
So,
yeah, big up Gaffer. Thanks to Tim. Thanks to Anthony Brightly as well.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed them stories, I really did enjoy them stories. Right, it doesn't finish there. At all, it doesn't finish there. We have a guest who's going to close out our show. She's been waiting so long, boy, lads, we've got to really apologize to her for that.
Let's get her on.
The Queen of Philly, Tanqueray Hayward, first time on Set the Trend. Hey, I can't wait till she comes on. Have we got there she is, the Queen of Philly.
Fish and making macaroni for tomorrow.
Getting that Sunday dinner ready, yeah? We do apologize.
It's all right. I've been enjoying the conversation. I've been enjoying it.
It's a live show. That's what happens sometimes. Many apologies.
Are you a fan of reggae music, Tanqueray?
Oh yeah, in Philly, when you hear that dun 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 dun, like you start. Oh, in Philly, they play it all the time. Yes.
Excellent.
So, Tanqueray, how's it been for you? You're creating a storm at the minute. You've just released your album, and you're getting some big reviews. You're in charts. You're at the top of these charts. How long's been the journey for Tanqueray?
Well, Tanqueray's been singing since she was 5, but started the music journey only about 6 years ago.
And what's your particular style of music for those who haven't heard you before?
Okay, well, I started in the church, so gospel, and then switched over to R&B. So I pretty much do everything. I sing jazz, R&B, I sing a little rock, a little bit of everything. But
what's your album? And what can we hear on your album?
So for the album, it's more so R&B, soul type of vibe.
I need to ask you a question, because when you say Queen of Philly, Jill Scott, Jilly from Philly, is like what we associate with Philadelphia. Patti LaBelle is what we associate with. How did you get that name?
Okay,
Queen of Philadelphia.
Okay, so it started actually back in 2018. I had went to Las Vegas to audition for a competition. I did not make that competition. So after the competition was over, I had this nice gown on. So myself and my manager, we decided to go down Fremont Street on the strip. You know, where all the stuff happened on the strip. You see all kind of stuff on the strip. And so people were just looking at me and was like, oh my God, like, you know, they're looking at me like, why is this, you know, woman walking down the street with this gown on? So I just said, I'm the Queen of Philadelphia. So I'm taking pictures and stuff. I said, I'm the Queen of Philadelphia. You know, they said, well, okay. And then I went on Facebook Live, and then I have been doing it ever since. So I would go in Walmart. You know, the Queen of Philadelphia is in Walmart buying deodorant. The Queen of Philadelphia is doing this and doing that. So you know, it just stuck. But obviously, it's a problem now. You know,
it's not a problem because
not for you.
Oh, not for you. Well, I think after this performance that you're going to do for Set the Trend, I think people are going to say that title should stick with you.
I hope so, but if not, it doesn't matter. I'm still the queen.
Reggie Heavy Styles, please take it away for us, Reggie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the amazing Set the Trend. It's not the Foundry, it's not the Electric Factory, but it is hot. We are about to bring to you the Queen of Philly. Please give it up for Tanqueray. I'm only joking, Tanqueray.
Let's go.
You know, sometimes love can be so complicated. I'm just trying to figure it out. And I thank y'all for joining me tonight. So here we go. We have known each other for so long. It's real. And over time we fell in love. It's real. The love we had is so strong, intoxicated, really is complicated. Oh, because of life, we're apart, and it makes things complicated. Been a while since I've seen you. Boy, you know you haven't changed. Reminiscing on the times we used to spend, and I'm so sorry it had to end. I know you have a family, and I'm okay with mine. I know you're still in love with me, and I wondered if she might. The love we had, it's so strong. It's so strong. Intoxicated, it really is complicated. Yes, it is. Because of love. And it makes things complicated. Now I can't believe that you feel the same way you did back then. So nothing will change. I guess we'll remain the same. It's complicated. Trying to figure it out. Oh no, no. It's complicated. No. The love we had, is so strong. It's so strong. Intoxicated. It really is complicated. Yes, it is. Because of love. everybody.
Massive. Massive. Oh my God.
That girl.
I'm mesmerized by your voice.
Oh.
That was incredible.
Tell us a bit about that song. How did you come to write that song? What feeling, what space and time was you in at that moment when you wrote the lyrics to that?
Okay, so you know how nowadays you either single, married, or in a it's complicated. There's a lot of people in a complicated situation. So I was a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And basically, that song is about someone that I used to date, and then we broke up. They got married, and they still love me. So it's complicated.
Should we ask like no, I won't go there. I wanted to anyway. We're not going to go there. So, Tanqueray, what in this time with this pandemic, did you write this album in this time, or has it been a process over a couple of years? You get into this point?
No, actually, my first song came out last August, so it was due to the pandemic that I'm here with you all today. So for me, it was a blessing. Before the pandemic, I was just performing cover songs in Philadelphia, for the past 5 years. So I actually got to sit down and actually write. So I'm very happy, and I'm just finally glad that the album came out.
And where are you looking to take this? So have you been receiving offers already to come to England, to fly out to other parts of the US in the world?
Not officially, but I'm open. I'm ready to go. My passport is hanging out the drawer. Like, where we going? Like,
I think EastEnders, you're mute. You're mute.
Straight to South London, if possible.
Oh yeah, I will be there.
Excellent.
I was saying, mate, I'm making that call tomorrow. I'm trying to sort that show out. Christmas special.
What are the type of artists that you've looked at and you've kind of taken a bit from over the years of your singing? So who are the artists that you look up to?
Okay, so Aretha Franklin, and BB King, Mary J. Blige, because I grew up in the 90s. So, Mary J. Blige, that was my girl. In Vogue, I actually won my first singing competition as a 12-year-old singing an In Vogue song. And
Which one was that one?
It was I Just Can't Stay Away From You, from their first album. And I was 12 years old, and I beat out these high schoolers, and I thought they were going to beat me up and take my radio. That's what I won. And I had to go home on the bus with it, but God was good and allowed me to come home with that radio. And again, In Vogue and Whitney Houston. I definitely wanted to be Whitney Houston. Greatest Love of All, that was like the graduation song, for everybody back then. So
amazing.
Have you got another song for us tonight? Because producers ain't told me, so I don't know. But
yes, I do.
And this one is called
This Kind of Love. This is actually what brought me over in the UK and really made me known.
Okay,
take it away, Tanqueray. The stage is yours.
Shout out to everybody on tonight. Thank you so much for being on. The kind of love you only dream of. Everything I ever wanted. Pure ecstasy for me. That's all I want. This kind of love. This kind of love. And I know that it's real by the way that I feel. Love so strong, it keeps going on. You're the kind of man who makes your woman feel good. Give me flowers and open doors just like he should. You took my baby
sweet girl in, just like she was yours. We became a family and made me secure this kind of love, this kind of love. And I know that it's real by the way that I feel, but love so strong keeps going on. The kind of love that you'll never, never, ever really understand from a real man. Oh, this kind of love, this kind of love. And I know that it's real by the way that I feel. A love that is strong keeps on being this kind of love, this kind of love. And I know that it's real by the way that I feel. A love so strong it keeps going on, baby. You don't know what you do to me. You make me feel so good inside. Oh, you make me wanna say la la la. Oh, you make me wanna say, and I love you, baby. You make me feel good inside, and you're driving me out of my mind. Hey, I wanna love you more.
Whoa.
Proper soul music.
Thank you.
Good,
Wow.
good.
Wow.
Lord.
Everybody with all the fire signs. Thank
1 second. Who's echoing?
I think it might be Tanqueray's settings there.
All right, echo cancellation.
Yeah,
I didn't do it.
there we go.
That
Was
sounds
it
better.
me?
Everyone good? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, good.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, that's Tanqueray. That's real soul music.
Bloody hell, what a
Real
voice.
soul music. Wow.
This kind of DJ.
What would they say in the industry? You've got a set of pipes on you, girl.
Wow.
The voice of an
I was
angel.
just saying in the comments that you were singing this record. It sounded like you were singing this record to me.
Listen,
Like, you know, I felt every note, every bar, everything.
Reggie, I feel it's complicated. Reggie, I feel it's complicated.
I love an entanglement, Ray. I love an entanglement, me.
Tanqueray, we have a few DJs in the chat. And I know that a lot of the DJs in the UK has been playing that song on heavy rotation on their shows.
Awesome. I love them all.
Yes. Wow.
You got some great comments coming in here as well. A couple of people hating on me. But apart from that, excellent 2 shots from Pedro Sweet. You got Cheryl Sterling, wicked voice. You got DJ Coogie saying rare groove feel. Pamela, Alan, wicked singer. You've also got Jarrell saying quality. Man, everybody's just going crazy as well. So yeah.
And we've also got one of our guests who was on our show a couple of weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, Kim Tabar.
Yes, that's my girl. Hey, Kim.
Yeah, she's on the live, and she says, "Oh, you're amazing."
Thank you. Yes, and so is she.
Oh, wow.
So your album, where can we purchase your album?
All right, so the album is on my website, which is www.mstqmusic.com. I need as many people to get over there because I'm trying to do some other things. So I was able to buy some of my equipment with some of the album purchase. So
excellent.
Good. That's good.
Y'all are really
It's scrolling at the bottom of our screen for anybody who's watching. It's on the bottom of the screen going through now. Definition of a woman. Go check it out.
And again, shout out to everybody who is on tonight. And my producer, TL Scheider, I think he's listening. So, hey, TL.
Done a good job. He's a producer. He's done a very good job on that.
Very good job.
I love the saxophone in that part of the song.
Oh, man.
That comes in beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's Daryl Dixon from Chops Horns. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
So you're open for offers.
No, she's not. She's not. No. Not open for offers.
I think there's a promoter there that wants to bring you to the UK.
Listen, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
I'm going to close the deal tomorrow.
Cash that fast.
Tanqueray, thank you for coming on to Set the Trend podcast. Don't be a stranger. Fabulous music, fabulous soul music, and there's not a lot of soul music out there anymore, especially not commercially. So hopefully you'll make it right there into that commercial slot that's there waiting for the next big soul artist. Absolutely fantastic voice. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Salute.
Thank you. Wow.
Queen of Philadelphia, a voice of an angel.
Hey, we've had some artists on this. Hey, you know what? I've looked at, as a DJ playing out, and you look at R&B back in the 90s, you know, what R&B was, what soul music was. You used to have a good set of that you could play, and it's no longer there. And it's funny because over the last few weeks or so, I've kind of seen that coming back a little bit, especially on the slow tempo side of it.
100%. There's some
maybe it's because of lockdown, because there's not been that much clubbing, so people have had more of an opportunity to embrace the more slower R&B records. So they've been listening to them on their Spotify's and their titles and stuff like that. So I think that's why. I mean, you know, we've had Kim Tavar smashed it, the lovely, amazing Cy Smith smashed it, and now Sinclair smashed it. Boy. And then now the amazing Independent, the new sound on the block. I think she's going to be huge. Yeah.
All the potential, Scott. All the potential.
I'm blown away, actually.
And also, she's nominated for three awards in the groundbreaking Soul Awards. What Tripple Cee is doing next week. So, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, there ain't no shame from Gooners anyway. Producers, can we have the show for next week up on the screen, please?
Relax. Hey, Joe, relax.
Producers, I thought we were going to change those pictures of those guys up there. Anyway, it needs a 2021 revamp. But we have female and DJ and radio personality Elaine Smith, known as DJ Elaine from back in the days from LWR originally. If you know about this young lady, you will know that as a female DJ, she broke records, hurdles, and barriers for other female DJs to become DJs. I spent my time as a youngster listening to DJ Elaine on the radio, and it's going to be a fantastic conversation with her next week. Also, we have voiceover extraordinaire. You see those adverts that you've been hearing, especially over the last 20 odd years. There's a few guys that do them. Robo Ranks, you have that does it. You have Mark Ross, you have Mike Anthony from Rampage, and you have this young gentleman, don't think he's young anymore, but Nathan, aka Cute Guy, whose one sole job, it seems, is just to put out advertising dances. And he's been a significant person throughout the industry. And we like to also throw flowers up to people who's contributed in not only just being a DJ, playing music, being a promoter, owning a club, but also to people who have contributed some other way to making the industry what it is. So we look forward to speaking to Nathan next week. And also we'll have a special performance, and we're going to keep that one quiet. Mainly because we're working on it, but we're gonna have something. Thank you. No shame in that, guys. No shame in that.
Wow,
fantastic show.
2 hours.
Fantastic. Yeah, but you know what? As Shawnee B said, You cannot rush the general.
Yo, but we had to, because otherwise we would have been here till
3 hours.
We didn't even get to talk about his production. We didn't even get to do. There was so many other things.
Rory, man.
We did have Alicia Scott to perform for him as well. But yeah, we'll probably get Alicia. We'll have to definitely play that Alicia performance another time.
Yeah, most definitely. So Rory from Stonelove was in the building. Still can't I actually believe such a great vibes, positive evening that we've had. Also, Triple Cee, groundbreaking records. Log into a website, groundbreaking records with not the G on the groundbreaking. .co.uk. Next week, Sunday at 6:45, she then releases the winners from the award ceremony. And of course, EastEnder, this young lady.
Tanqueray Hayward. Amazing.
Wow, what a way to close the show.
Amazing.
Absolutely fantastic.
Wicked.
Set the Trend podcast. And let's not forget why we're here. You guys out there in the chat rooms. If it wasn't for you and the silent listeners, because we know there's a few of you that are here not making no noise at all, just here and just listening and supporting. Thank you very much, because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here doing what we do. This is a year anniversary. We've been doing it. Oh, yeah. We started it in the pandemic a year ago, and we've had a little bit of a break, and then we came back and we're here. Don't know when we're going to be finishing, but we're in talks at the minute to when we're going to just have a break. But it's wonderful. Set the Trend podcast, YouTube. Go to there, subscribe, hit the button, subscribe. We're looking to push up our subscribers over there, and also Facebook, Set the Trend podcast. If you want to review back or look back at this podcast, it's on YouTube, Set the Trend podcast. Just go into our channel, you will see it there alongside all our other podcasts that we've been doing live as well. So Spoonie last week, the week before, I can't remember Mervyn Lynn. We've had Sean Wallace, we've had Jay Blades, you know what I mean? Alice Bandakravi. We've had a few of them. So go back and have a look at our lives. And let's not forget DJ Yardi before he says, what about me?
Oh yeah, Yardi.
And G Money. And G Money as well was alive as well. So you can go back on there and do that. Right, lads, what are you up to this week, EastEnder?
Monday, April the 12th, non-essential shops reopening.
What are you going to do?
And my record shop is open. So anyone who wants to buy some nice vinyl, check out Maestro Records, 163 Rye Lane, London. That's from Monday. That's my stuff to do. Plus, I've got to get on the phone tomorrow and speak to Tanqueray and a couple of others to book a show for December.
To lock it just to lock the contract down, mate. You know what I'm saying to you? She's bad. Reggie, what are you up to this week?
Birthday week, so tomorrow radio, and then Monday radio, and then I don't know what I'm doing. Obviously, everybody's back open, so we can go to the bars. I haven't sorted anything out yet at all. I never know. I might end up in Novikov somewhere like that. I'm not sure, but I will definitely be having.
Who's on Tinder? What's this Tinder for? What's this going on in this room here? What's that Tinder in reference to?
Oh, I don't know. GoFundMe. Okay. So basically, what's happened is that people have taken the fact that I have been giving compliments to the female performance on the show. Kim Tavar came in saying that she said I'm a player, accused me of being a player. I'd like to say I'm a single man with options. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Single man with options. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Someone said plenty of fish. That's
the website.
Boy, you know what? Can I just say something? You were so right, you know, Reg.
Reg, hold on. You might have to start a midweek podcast on your own called Plenty of Fish, mate. And
you see how quickly they've turned on me. You were right, you know, Ray. I should have listened to you.
You can't listen.
These the people, and this is what happens.
Start a GoFundMe page for Reggie to get a date. Look, they're at it on you on it, mate.
Wow, look how they turned. Jeez.
What am I doing? So tomorrow, breakfast blues in the morning. I'm up at 9 o'clock till midday. No special guest, just me. Here's Kim. I'm single too, Reggie.
Kim, come on, let's make it happen.
What is this
Are you
show
time for
called?
business? Are you time for business on this show?
What are you trying to say? I'm not that expensive.
Are you time for business, brother? Brother, man, are you time for business? No, because there's no time for business. Reggie, I don't want them to start calling this show like the Plenty of Fish show because I can't take them kind of vibes. Do you get me? You know what I'm saying to you? Trying to really clean up my act out here.
No.
So listen, Breakfast Blues tomorrow morning. I'm on at 9, broadcasting on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and Mixcloud Pro, Fifth Avenue official, everywhere. I think I'm doing some guest podcast in the week. Which is totally different. It's a community one. There's no music involved. Stop licking your lips, Reg, innit? And then I think that's it. Next week, I think that's it for me. That's it for me until next week. The shops are open, but I won't be spending any money in it. They ain't catching me out like that. I'll be keeping my money in my pocket, mate. You know what I mean? So let's hope that this is on the road to recovery, though. Let's really hope so. I'm fed up of lockdown. I'm fed up of being in lockdown. I'm fed up of talking to people about whether to jab or to not jab, or whether you got it or not got it, whether you're going to get it or not get it, all the consequence of this pandemic. I've had enough. So
I just want to get out and just talk to some people, see some faces, and, you know, just have a good old catch up and banter with friends. That's what I want to do.
Exactly. I've had enough. And remember, as we said at the top of the show, please check on your people. They may be happy-go-lucky on the phone or to you in face, but sometimes you may have to just check in on them at a deeper level, because there's a lot of people out there, you know, suffering from a lot of things in silence. And that's the thing, they're suffering in silence. So check on your peeps and just make sure that they're okay. And I think that's it, mate. We're out. Thanks to the producers again. Jay, Jide, it's all yours. Take us out there. Set the trend next week. We'll see you. Until then, thank you for being part of the show. Love you, and we'll leave you. Thank you.
Stay safe.